Welcome back. Hope you're having a great day. Today is the day 18th of the 50 day spoken English course given by GK Pro Academy without any strings attached, meaning absolutely free. Okay? In the previous session, we focused on what adjectives are and how they change the meaning in a sentence. I hope you attended that session, or I hope you just went through the recorded, the lesson yesterday. Now, today's session builds on that foundation itself. What do I mean by that? I mean, today we are going to kind of learn an analogy which shows how to use adjectives naturally in speaking. Okay, it is pretty much strategy based. As I already told you, that we kind of focus our theories around strategies. We are not learning new types of adjectives, but we are kind of learning how to use them when we are speaking to someone. Okay. Now, let me just give you a quick breakdown of today's session. Now, why does your English sound flat, guys? Because many learners already know their adjectives. The real challenge is choosing the right one at the right moment. Now, that's pretty much difficult. To choose the right adjective at the given point of time when you really want to kind of express yourself in an interesting way. Now, that is the importance of adjectives, my friends. Okay, let's look at an example which I already showed you yesterday as well, or in the last session. Okay, so the first sentence, as you can see on the screen, is my day was good, the class was nice, the meeting was okay. Now, these sentences are correct. I'm not saying that they're grammatically wrong, but it does not sound interesting. It does not focus on, when you talk to someone, it does not focus on the interesting part of your sentence. All right. So that is what is the meaning of using adjectives. It helps you to embellish your language in such a way that the listener is kind of mesmerized when he or she listens to you talking. Okay, so today we are going to learn how to do that. Basically, how to use adjectives, as simple as that, and not just what they are. We covered this in the last session. We already did that in the last session, but today we are going to learn how to use those adjectives, my friends. So, here again, I would want you to pause the video. Okay, I would want you to pause the video and say after me, or you can just kind of, ask yourself. All right, ask yourself, my day was good. You can just repeat this after me. My day was good. But now pause the video and ask yourself, good in what way? My day was extremely good. My day was just amazing. Or my day was, um, you know, the most important day in my life. So things like this. I just want you to use these random words at just in order to analyze how this session is going to help you at the end of this particular lesson. Okay, so moving on to strategy one for today. It also says, I'm sorry, it kind of really says here replace. All right, what do you mean by replace? Replace is, as I told you at the start of the lesson, that many of the learners know their adjectives, or many people know what adjectives are. Let's start with the common speaking habits. Many sentences are correct, but they do not carry information, guys. As I told you, this is a plain and a simple statement. Okay, my day was good. Okay, the sentence is correct, but they do not carry any specific information like how good was it? My day was extremely good. Okay, this is the difference. This is the difference. The sentences are, as I told you, grammatically fine, but they do not tell the listener anything specific about your particular day. Okay, this is a weak response. If you say, my day was good, it is pretty much a weak response. Now, how do you kind of upgrade it? How do you replace it? That's the most important thing that we are looking to learn today. Okay, what did I just say? That these simple sentences do not tell the listener anything specific about your day. Okay, when the meaning is unclear, Your confidence also sounds unclear. So instead of adding more words, what you can just do is kind of add how your day was. Like, my day was good. How good? My day was productive. That good. It was that good that it showed some productive sense. All right. The class was nice. How nice? How nice? The class was nice. I understand, but how nice? It was very useful to me. Okay, it was that nice. Let's look at the third example. The food was bad, but how bad? It was very disappointing. I didn't expect that the food was bad at this place or the restaurant that I just visited. So, this is the base. What can I say? This is the base difference when you look at using simple sentences and using those adjectives which actually make a lot of impact when the listener is actually kind of, listening to what you're talking to. Okay, now let's look at certain upgrades that you can use. All As you can see on the screen, I just kind of named it as an upgrade bank. Now, what do you mean by upgrade bank is, I'll just let you know. So instead of good, you can use useful, productive, enjoyable, satisfying, or effective. Okay, this is the most important thing, that you need to kind of understand, that you just do not listen to this session and not implement it. You shouldn't be doing that. You have to understand that whatever we are trying to share, or whatever we are bringing up for you guys, try to implement it in your real life, and that is what matters. Okay, so instead of using good next time, please use words like useful, productive, enjoyable, satisfying, or effective. Okay, now let's look at the next word. Instead of using nice, okay, many of us use nice, right? Instead of using that simple word, you can just look at using pleasant, friendly, comfortable, or welcoming. Instead of using bad, bad actually sounds really bad when you use it in a sentence also. So you can use words like tiring, stressful, exhausted also, confusing, disappointing. All this, fits into this word. I mean, fits into the meaning of instead of using bad. All right. So that is what I mean. The sentence stays short, only the meaning becomes clearer. So that's what I'm kind of saying. From the start, I've been telling you that do not look at making big and complicated sentences. However, you can just do one thing, is change your adjectives and sound better. That's it. All right. So here again is my guided practice session, guys. I always tell you this is one of my most important sections within the lessons. So pause and upgrade these sentences. I would want you to do that right away, because that makes a lot of sense. My work was good. I already gave you some options here. You can choose any one of them and see what fits here, and you can do that. The meeting was bad. Okay, bad. What can you say? The meeting was confusing. Yes, you can also say that the meeting was stressful, right? Instead of bad. The class was nice. Instead of nice, go ahead and use the class was useful, or the class was welcoming. So you can use these kind of words in order to enhance the way you talk, or the way you kind of portray those sentences in a very simple form. So that is what I'm kind of letting you know. When you look at using adjectives as a weapon, uh, and when you're looking at enhancing your English, please go ahead and use these synonyms, in the sense different words but the same meaning. All right, great. Now let's look at the strategy 2 for today. Pretty much I covered the same strategy in the last session as well, or the last class as well, but let's talk about something known as the selection. The selection, but not memorization, guys. This is kind of a strategy which revolves around selecting what you want to use. Okay, I hope you understand that. Fluent speakers do not search for many adjectives, they choose only one lens at a time. In the last class I told you this adjective camera theory, okay, or the strategy is something that I really closely relate with, because I really like using certain strategies in order to make my life easy, okay. So why? Because you think less, okay, but then again you choose better. So that is what is important. You should think less, and you should not kind of give yourself that stress and strain when you're kind of looking at learning a language. Not only English, it can be any other language as well. So let's quickly move ahead. As I told you, the core idea here, guys, is adjectives are like camera lenses. Okay, a camera has many lenses, so you can choose any one of the lens. You really don't need many adjectives. You don't need all the lenses together. You just need the right lens to talk about that at the right time or that particular moment. Okay, so let's look at the lens one. I already spoke about this in my last session. However, I'm just giving you another look out, like what exactly I mean by the adjective camera. Great. So the first lens is look. It's very easy. That is what you see, whatever you can see or whatever is right in front of your eyes. For example, the room was messy. The room was, if you walk into a dark place and it's a dark room, you might say the room was dark. If the same room was crowded with many people, you just look at that and you talk. Okay, that's your first lens. The room was messy, the room was crowded, the room was clean. Okay, the room was bright due to sunlight. So these are the easy ways. Okay, these are some easy strategies you can use when you're kind of looking at using those adjectives in order to enhance the way you speak in English. Okay, the next lens is feel. What do you mean by feel? Obviously, you're feeling, right? That is how you feel. For example, you feel tired, you feel relaxed, nervous, excited, proud. Okay, so I felt tired. Whatever you're feeling is also kind of an adjective lens that you can use in order to express yourself. The third lens is the value. Value is nothing but your judgment. I told you in the last session also, value is nothing but your judgment. Means you can say the meeting was useful. According to you, the meeting would have been useful. Okay. But according to someone else, the meeting would have been pointless. Now that is judgment, right? So the lens three, where you're looking at using adjectives, also can fall under the strategy of value, okay, and giving that value to your sentence. Now, that is what adjective camera theory actually means. I hope I'm pretty clear here. I'm moving on to the next section. However, let me just give you a quick recap. So, the strategy 2 deals with the adjective camera in the sense there are three lenses that we are going to choose from. Either one of the lens you can use. The first lens is look, that is what you see, okay, what you see immediately. Okay, the second lens is how you feel. That is, you might feel nervous, excited, proud, exhausted, tired, happy, sad, can be anything you're feeling. All right, you can use any one of the feeling when you're talking or making a sentence. Now, the third lens is the value. That is your judgment. I already told you your judgment can be different from the other, and that can be also a strategy to use that particular lens to talk about that particular situation at that moment. All right, great. Now, let's move on to the a same situation but three lenses. They have kind of we are using these sentences to show you some examples. Okay, the office was crowded. This is look, in the sense what you see. I felt stressed. Okay, it's the feeling. The discussion was important. This is the value or the judgment. Okay, now this is how fluent speakers talk. Not all the speakers use many adjectives, only one adjective. They actually go for using only one adjective at a time, and that actually makes a lot of difference when one speaks. Okay, again, looking at the guided practice, all right, where I'm kind of going to tell you what to do here. Pause and talk about one thing using three lenses. All right, pause here, pause the video, I mean, and talk about one thing using three lenses. It was whatever you are kind of looking at. I felt your feeling. It was again your value added statement, your judgment. Go ahead, pause the video and practice this, guys. Practice is very important. I've always told you along along all the sessions. I've been telling you that practice is what makes you perfect, and that is pretty much mandatory in all the sessions. Please pause the video and do the same. Great. Moving on to strategy number 3. As I told you, I just mentioned somewhere here that only one adjective per sentence must be used. Why? Because you do not want to sound crowded, or you do not want to kind of sound wrong when you're talking sentences. For example, if I say something like my very good, or my very very, some many people use very very. Now that's not right. Okay, my very good and very busy and very tiring day. No one talks like this. It is absolutely not happening. Okay, so how do you kind of correct that is by using only one. Okay, one adjective per sentence. Keep that in mind, guys. I want you to use only one adjective per sentence and nothing more than that. All right, let's look at the stronger example. My day was busy. I felt tired. How about that? It actually sounds very subtle. It sounds subtle because clear thinking creates clear sentences. First of all, it um, clears your thinking. Why? Because you're using only one adjective per sentence, right? So that is what is very important. One adjective per sentence is not a rule, it is a clarity tool. Okay, it gives you a lot of clarity because you do not overcrowd your statements. Let's look at a contrast here. It's again a very good example. The class was good and interesting and nice. You don't really have to use so many adjectives. Okay, you don't have to use so many adjectives at once. As I told you, it crowds the sentence with a lot of info, and that's not really needed. That's not needed. Okay, let's look at a stronger version. The class was interesting, it was useful. Amazing. So that's all. That's all. It's very clear, it's short, it's crisp, yet very sophisticated to kind of listen when someone is speaking like that. Okay. So the class was good and interesting and nice. Or even if I say the class was very good and very interesting, no, do not go for that. Just use one adjective. That is, the class was interesting, it was very useful. That's all. Okay. Now that is a clarity tool, guys. Again, this section is the guided practice session. I want you to pause here. Okay, whenever I draw this, that is a pause sign and a circle, I mean, you really need to stop the video or pause the video and do this. Pause and split the sentence. What is the sentence? The meeting was long and boring and stressful. Just pause and break the sentence into two um, according to your level of usage. That's okay. You can just go ahead and even make your own sentence if you want here. A model has been given or an example. The meeting was long, it was stressful. That's it. Okay, that's the whole point. Let's quickly move on to strategy number 4. Okay, what is that? The perfect strategy to use adjective would be after the be words. I'll let you know what is to be words. Okay, when you speak spontaneously, simple structures help you to stay fluent. Okay, now what do I mean by simple structures is nothing but to be verb. Quickly look at this section here, guys. To be verb. Okay, I'll let you know what is a to be verb. Yes, so to be verb is I am. Okay, you, we, or are, is, was, or were. Okay, these are the to be verbs. Now, adjectives can be used after these to be verbs as well. All right, so it is subject to be plus the adjective. Let's look at some examples. Before that, I just want to tell you that you do not need complexity to sound fluent. You just need control and you need certain strategies. Okay, that is what we're trying to focus here at GK Pro Academy. So some examples of to be plus adjectives are right on the screen. That is, I. Okay, I is the subject. Okay, am is the to be verb, and tired is the adjective. You are nervous. You are nervous. Yes, the same thing. He is tall. He is again is the to be verb. Tall. Okay. She is happy. 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 Okay. It is round. We are cold. You are hot. They are angry. So these are the to be verbs, and I want you to understand you can actually use adjectives after the to be verbs as well. That's also a strategy. Some more examples are the day was busy, she is confident. Okay, you can actually read it out also if you want to pause the video here and read it out for yourself. You can do that as well. However, I'm just going to read it out again. Okay, here she is confident. Okay, the food was to be verb delicious. Okay, now, a very small comparison. If I say a busy day, now it sounds really incomplete. It's correct, but then it sounds incomplete. Now, if I say the day was busy, this is the to be, a verb, and busy. Okay, this is also a kind of an adjective. So both are correct, but choose what feels easy. However, I would tell you to choose this. Okay. Next, this is again the guided practice session, guys. Pause the video and do the same. The drill is the same. I just want you to kind of understand that that is mandatory during the sessions. The class was, you can use the adjective camera strategy here. The class was noisy. You can say noisy, right? Right. I am. You can see. You can say the feeling, as I told you on the in the adjective camera method. I am very tired. The task was. You can just fill in any word that you are kind of comfortable with. Think and do these activities. I just did the first two for you. The class was noisy. I am very tired today. All right. So, next, moving on to strategy number 6. Sometimes we place adjectives before a noun. Okay. Understanding a SAS comp rule. What is this? OSAS comp rule. I need you to understand, or I need you to please look at the screen when I'm talking about this because this is very important. Okay. Now, English follows a natural order, guys. So, to make this rule is also available on many other platforms, I guess. However, I just want to kind of get that here as well. Understanding OSAS comp with a clear example, because when we use many adjectives before one noun, English flows with a natural order. In the sense, what do I mean? OSAS comp is abbreviated to this. You can look at the screen. O means opinion. Okay. S is abbreviated to size. Again, A is to age. There's another S here, which is in reference to shape. C is for color. O for origin. Okay, it can be Italian, American, Indian. That's the origin I'm talking about. Okay. Then M is the material, wooden, steel, iron, cotton, things like that. P is the purpose. What is the purpose of that object or that noun that we're talking about? Okay. I hope you understand what I mean. Or SAS comp is something that you really have to remember. You have to memorize this. There's no other way out. Okay, just to make your life easy, we kind of have, this rule has been already established. So, OSAS comp. O is your opinion. Okay, as I told you, it's your opinion. It can be beautiful, it can be horrendous, ugly. It's all your opinion. All right. Or and then S stands for what did I say? It stands for size, right? Gigantic, majestic, big, small. So that's the size. Then A is the age. Okay. The age of the object or the noun. Shape. S is for the shape. Round, square, semicircle, anything. Then color. Obviously, color is red, green, scarlet, things like that. Then comes your origin. Origin is from where exactly the object has taken its the existence, origin. All right. Next is the material. And the last is the purpose. The P is the purpose. So all this sums up to a word that is pronounced how? Osascomp. Okay. Osascomp. All right. So let's go ahead and look at a sentence here. A beautiful. Okay, beautiful is the opinion. A beautiful, small. Small is the size. Yeah, look at this. Osascomp. Small is the size. Okay. A beautiful, small, old. Old is the age. Round. Round is the shape. Blue. Blue is the color. French, as I told you, it can be Italian, it can be American, it can be Eastern, it can be anything. So that is the origin. Here in this sentence, it is French. All right. Material, wooden. Okay. It can be steel, iron, anything. Anything it is made up of. Purpose, dining table. What is the purpose? It's a dining table. Dining table is obviously used to dine on, right? So that is what is the purpose. Now, the whole sentence sounds like a beautiful, small, old, round, blue French wooden dining table. Okay, that is what is the breakdown here, guys. As I told you, opinion is beautiful, size is small, age is old. Okay, shape is round, color is blue, French is origin, material wooden, and purpose is dining. Okay, now this order, as you see, feels natural. Why? Because English speakers do this. There is a kind of an expectation for them to give this particular flow in the form of Osascomp, guys. Osascomp is your um, God rule when it comes to also one of the strategies which has already been established. Again, I'm saying, again, I'm kind of reinforcing that this rule is already there. It's just to kind of reinforce. I have included this in the part of our section, our sessions as well. All right, great. Now, when the order changes, the sentence sounds uncomfortable also. Now, when this order changes, this osascomp, when this osascomp order changes, the sentence might sound a little bit haywire. For example, if I say, the wooden French round blue small beautiful dining table, even though the words are correct, the sound of the sentence is somewhat not happening. Okay. Now, that is why adjective order matters. It's not for exams, but it's for clarity. That is what is the real goal here. In order to increase your fluency and clarity, we have brought you certain strategies. All these strategies up above here are again our strategies. The adjective camera, or if you look at the upgrade bank or the replay strategy, all these are curated at GK Pro. However, when you look at the OSAS comp rule, this particular rule, it's already established and many people use this as well. Okay, this is not done by us, but however, this is already established. I have bought in into our session today just to give you that extra knowledge. Okay, great. Now let's move on, guys. As I told you, it sounds pretty unnatural if we kind of play around with the OSASCOMP rule. Okay, now quickly let's look at what's next. Now, most of the time, OSASCOMP helps you to sound fluent. Okay, most of the time it helps you to sound fluent. But sometimes what happens, we as human beings want to emphasize on something more important. For example, if you want to highlight something in your sentence, like a small beautiful cottage, I want to say that the cottage is beautiful. I want to say the cottage is beautiful. But at the same time, I'm kind of telling that the cottage is small. I'm emphasizing this time on the size of the cottage or the noun. So size is more important here. Now look at the same sentence written like this. Okay, the same sentence is written like this. A beautiful small cottage. What do you kind of get out of this? It means that there are certain sentences in English that also do not follow the this particular rule. You can go ahead and also use adjectives in order to highlight whatever you want to. If I want to say A beautiful small cottage. I'm kind of emphasizing on the beauty of the cottage. I'm not saying that it is small. I'm saying it's really beautiful, yet it is small. But in the first sentence here, I'm kind of telling you that the cottage is beautiful, but it is a small one. Okay, try to understand that concept because it's more important. Both are correct. Okay, the focus is the change in the sense whatever you want to highlight. Okay, great. Now let's look at some fixed expressions. Now these also don't follow the OSAS comp rule, guys, because it kind of understands we kind of understand that speaking in English or speaking in the language that you are trying to learn always do not go by rules. All right, it doesn't always go by rules, but this is also known as fixed expressions. What do you understand by fixed expressions? For example, if I say a bad big wolf, now this will not sound good. I can't say a bad big wolf. You always have to say the big bad wolf. Okay, that is how it sounds. Now if I say black and white photography, it actually sounds good. What if I say white and black photography? Doesn't sound good, right? Now this is what I mean by certain fixed expressions also are a part of our a language, when we kind of put that emphasis on these adjectives. Now these phrases sound right because they are commonly used this way only, guys. Okay, the big bad wolf or black and white photography. I will not go ahead and say white and black photography. Okay, or I will not say wolf bad big, or I would not say, rather I would not say a bad big wolf. Now that's not going to happen. Okay, so very important, you do not need to kind of memorize OSASCOM perfectly. You just have to look at using 1 to 2 adjectives most of the time. Please focus on the clarity and not perfection. Okay, I have kind of given you a set of examples here as well. A beautiful wooden table. Okay, okay, a, a small blue bag. Now this also sounds good. Now that's already fluent, or this also makes a lot of sense. All right, so what I kind of want you to do here is that understand that this is very important to kind of wrap your heads around how important adjectives are. So let's look at a final speaking challenge for today. That is, describe your day using adjectives. Use 3 adjectives only. Use short sentences and use the adjective camera theory, that is look, feel plus value kind of sentences. Look at the model answer, that is today was busy. I felt tired, but the work was productive. Now, this is what I kind of want you to do, guys. Again, pause now, record your version, also listen to it once and see how your confidence changes. Okay, this is the end of the session for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, before I kind of sign out, I just want to say, tell you this, that if you're watching this on YouTube, this lesson is a part of our free spoken English series, but this is just the starting point. At GK Pro Academy, we do not just teach English, we train you to speak step by step with guidance, practice, and feedback. Now, if these lessons are helping you, I invite you to continue this journey with us. You will find the link to GK Pro Academy in the description. Start with the free course and move forward only when you feel ready, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in.